What is up? Welcome to the Stat Guy Show, episode number 9. Today, I have my special guest, Matty Loy, with me. What's up, man? How you doing?
How you going, mate? Good. Thanks for bringing us on the show.
Hell yeah, man! It was thank you so much for coming on, man. It's been cool keeping up with you guys from Australia and in your anticipation for No Prep Kings coming over there. So what's up, man? So it's like it's Wednesday over there, about midday. What are you up to right now? What do you got going on right now?
Yeah, Wednesday midday. Just quickly slipped back to the shed from work. So been out on the job site this morning, and we're just been, trying to do a bit of work, trying to get a bit of sleep. We've been flat out in the shed every night getting ready. So yeah, it's unreal.
Nice, man. Hey, before we get into the Street Outlaw stuff, I want to learn a little more about Matty Loy and Junga Bunga racing. So let's go back. When did you start racing? Did you start racing when you were a kid, or how'd that all start?
Yeah, I started racing juniors. I'm basically second generation. My father's raced his whole life, and his 3 older brothers raced. We sort of race as a family, so I've been brought up with it. We're really close family. So yeah, Dad and John and his brother Chris, they've been right in it, and Alec, and yeah, man, it just come from that, and I've watched them race, and they all race blown cars, and they've had pro street cars, and then blown cars, and running in a bracket category here called Supercharged Outlaws, and they had dragsters and different things in different brackets, and I just grew up. Our local track out here at Warwick Dragway, my family's been a big part of that track opening and running. We run that track, and it's a non-profit organisation club. So we've been doing that for 23 years, 24 years now. So, yeah, man, I've just been born into it, and I ran juniors from when I was 7, 8 year old. And just since then, mate, I haven't, since I seen my old man racing, and, it's just normal for me. Just we were racing every weekend and when we could. So, yeah.
Yeah, does everybody else still race, or are you just the only one yet?
Yeah, we're still racing. We've been a little bit quiet the last couple of years with everything happening. We're actually upgrading our local track out here, Warwick Dragway. We got a government grant, and we've just upgraded from 1/8 mile to 1/4 mile, and we've just put in a concrete 1/8 mile, and the first 1/8 mile's concrete. So we've been a big part of that. We actually have an earth moving company, Loy's Earth Moving, or FG Loy and Sons Earth Moving, and that's third generation. My dad's father started that in 1948, and we've been a big part. And we got all the machines, so we've done everything we could at Warwick and at the Dragway, and that's been a big process. But yeah, my father, he still kicks around, races a little bit. He's got a couple of street cars, and he's mainly helping me with this rig here. But yeah, like when we get the chance, my mum, she races. We got a little street Tirana that when Warwick's running, she'll race it again, and she's normally in the tower doing the timing system and everything at the drag. So it's the whole family's into it. And yeah, my uncle Chris, he helps me a lot with the tuning, and he's taught me how to build engines and everything since I was a little fella. So we're getting his car going after this. Once Warwick's running, he's got a full chassis Holden VL Commodore with a blown big block, so he'll be getting back into it. And yeah, we all still try and race when we can, mate, and we're normally busy out at Warwick Dragway running it, but yeah, it's a good chance. Willow Bank is only an hour from us, and it's a good chance for us to go race and not have to worry about prepping the track and working at the track all weekend, so yeah.
That's awesome, man. Keeping it in the family. It's a family tradition. That's cool, man.
Yeah, we all go. The sister comes, and my wife races too. She's got a little VL Commodore. She's getting ready at the moment, but I've had her racing, and we all go as a family, and we race together. All my crew, they're like family. We treat them like family, and it's really good, And it's been good to get the car going again, so we could get back into it and be a big family again and go racing, have some fun.
Nice, man. Nice. The Junga Bunga name, what does that mean? How did you guys start that? How did that come up?
If you ask me what does it mean, I got no idea. Since I was a little fella, my cousins, like I was saying, we're a real close family. We all live on the same block, like the same road. We're all a stone throw away, or grew up being a stone throw away from each other. So my cousins, yeah, when I don't know, from when I can remember, when I was about 5 years old, my cousin was always calling me Matty Junga, and it's been Matty Junga for as long as I've remembered, and I just picked it up and I've always ran with it. And then one of my good mates out at Josh out at St. George, he started calling me a few years back, started calling me Junga Bunga. So we've actually incorporated that now. So it used to be Matty Junga, and now it's sort of, yeah, it's good. It's moved to its own little brand name, and it's Junga Bunga, and I run my own no prep cash days, and it's called Junga Bunga's no prep cash days. So, you know, it's something. Yeah, it's cool. Everyone knows me as Junga. So
Cool. So let's talk about your car. What car do you got? What kind of car is that behind you?
It's a 1977 Holden LX hatchback Tirana. It's in the background here. It's a Aussie muscle car. Basically, they started off the SS. They're a production car, and they used to race them at Bathurst back in the day around the mountain, and they had them in the circuit racing, and they're an Aussie production car, and that's what it started as. It was basically nearly a street car. When my old man had it, it was, they turned it back into a street car. It previously had a bloke had been racing it, and they sort of put all the interior back in it and had it as a street car for a bit, and then it sort of progressed. What we used to call Mod Street. There's Mod Street and Pro Street blown. Well, it ran a Mod Street for a little while on 28 10.5s with a nitrous big block, and then it went to the late 90s. They chopped the rear end out and they tubbed it, and it was a ladder bar car back then, and it had just like an old school 454 in it with a 671 blow. It had nitrous for a long time, and it had a 671 on it, and 32-inch tires, and it was still all like everything was all steel. The front end never come off or anything like that. Still had the standard cross member and that. So yeah, they campaigned it, bracket raced it in Pro Street. And then like early 2000s, it was built in our little 3-bay garage shed here at home, and it's since then it's full chassis now. Still retains the steel body, steel roof, steel quarters. It's still got the steel front end. It's got a fiberglass top bonnet section that comes off. It's all still steel. It's pretty heavy. But yeah, it's still the same old car. So it's pretty cool.
Are you going to be running 28s for the Outlaws thing or no?
No, I got it on. It's a big tire car. It's old school. It's set up on 33-inch slicks. So we got a whole new combination engine, ignition, fuel system. We've changed too many things. If I had the chance, if I had a bit of time, I may have. I've just put a new diff and everything in it, and I've just, it was easier just to get it going on the 33s. And after this meeting, I might look at, no prep's just starting to kick off here, and I might put it on smalls on 28s, 29s, but at the moment it's on 33s. So yeah.
Cool, man. Cool. And so you're going to be racing at Willow Bank, which is the second race of the stretch. And how often do you race at Willow Bank?
We race there a little bit. Last few years we haven't ran this car there. We haven't ran this car for a couple of years now. But I got an old HQ wagon with a turbo LS, and I've currently just done a bit of since mid June last year. We've raced at Willow Bank a few times, and we generally get there every couple of months for a run, basically. So, but beforehand, I've raced Willow Bank my whole life. So, we've done a lot of laps down Willow Bank. We know Willow Bank really good. So, yeah. Nice.
Okay, let's talk about the show now. So, what was the process? How did you get chosen to be on the show? How did that whole thing go down?
Yeah, well, I suppose the whole criteria sort of just come out in the internet. Basically, it was announced. I think when was that? End of last year, start of this year, that they were coming to Australia. There wasn't much, I suppose it's a big concept for them to come over here. It's unreal, the logistics, but they sort of just then announced it with a couple months time to get ready. And yeah, we just followed. Basically, they were picking teams like, so they're starting at Perth. So they had a WA team. Then they had the Queensland team for Willow Bank, then the Sydney team, and the Victoria team. So they just put out, interest, who's interested in getting on the team. And I've watched Street Outlaws and everything my whole life. And I love no prep, run my own no prep events. And I said, hell yeah, we're going to try and be a part of this. Even if we don't make the invitational, I still had to have the car ready so we could race the support bracket. That was my whole idea behind it. So then, yeah, we got in touch with the Queensland representative, Terry Sang, and basically put our interest in. And then from there on, they've had a group page, and they've kept us in the loop. We had to do a call out video. And early in the piece, I thought I'd just done a quick, easy call out video, and it sort of led the way to start with. I think it was the first big call out. So, and it was one of the only ones to start for a long time where, I called out Stinky Pinky Disco Dean, and he got straight back on to me and replied. And yeah, it was unreal, man. It sort of just went crazy.
Yeah, your video was the first one I saw for sure, and there was a
few, and then that one sort of just, there was better ones in the end, but that one just early in the piece, that sort of set the pace, and yeah, it was good. It sort of got me in the limelight a bit, and I don't know, everyone sort of liked it. I don't know if it's the old car here or the mullet or what, but it was good. So it got me out there and got me in touch with Disco Dean, and then eventually then jumping through the loops and that, we had to talk to Discovery, and yeah, it's gone from there. So
cool, man. So why Disco? Why did you want to call it Disco?
Well, I've been watching Street Outlaws. Like I love a lot of them guys. I've been watching it since the start. I remember watching Stinky Pinky when he went to the street years ago and raced against Big Chief and that, and I thought, this is cool. I'm a blower man, and he had a blown combo. And from the start of No Prep Kings, from when he got involved, he's ran the blown combo. He hasn't changed to Pro Charger or nitrous big block or turbos or anything. He stayed at the blown combo. So from the get-go, he just seemed like, watching his lives and that, he seemed like a really cool, outgoing guy, sort of like what we are. And man, I watched him on No Prep Kings. He struggled, but he just stayed with the blower, and then he sort of, last couple of seasons, he started setting the pace there, and then went from, just winning the odd round, first round, to, going to semi-finals and that all the time, and runner-up. And yeah, man, he seems like a really cool dude. He's got a blown American muscle car, and I've got an Australian muscle car blown, and I thought, well, that'd just be an awesome call out. So,
hell yeah.
But the whole team, they just seem like really nice people, and I can't wait to meet them, eh?
Yeah, definitely. Do you know how they're gonna set up the races? Like, is it going to be like an actual invitational where you got to qualify and stuff like that?
Well, as far as I know, and we still don't know everything, but I basically think it's like a grudge style call out. I think they're gonna, like, I don't know if it's each night, Friday night and Saturday night, but I think they're gonna have like a sort of like going back to the streets. I suppose they're gonna have the team there, and we got to negotiate our races, and that's the style. I don't think it's going to be a knockout or anything like that. I don't think it's going to be the proper race your way in and elimination, but I think it's the street style grudge racing. So I think we get the lock in, talk a bit of shit, talk a bit of smack to everyone, and whoever bites, and if we bite or if they bite, I think we get in on the action. So it's basically just talking shit and trying to back yourself up.
Yeah, definitely. So the first race, like you said, is Perth. And I didn't realize this until maybe like yesterday when I was looking it up, but Perth to Willow Bank is like going from like New York to Los Angeles in the US. It's like 40-some-hour trip. And I know the Street Outlaws guys are flying, I guess, but they're getting there, their cars aren't going to get there till when? I mean, they're not going to have much time to work on them. I mean, they're going to be traveling in a truck from Perth all the way to Willow Bank, man. That's not a short drive.
Yeah, it's unreal. Like, I don't think they'll get any. I'd say just how I think it'll work, though. As soon as they finish racing Saturday night, everything could just be loaded in the container, they'll be loaded on trucks and they'll be going that early morning, I'd say. And the logistics side of bringing them from America to here is unreal. And then track the track that's crazy. So yeah, man, like it's unreal. Like in normal terms, it's about a 5-day drive, Queensland to Perth. But in a truck with two up, that's two drivers, one having a rest, one drive, and they do it in about 3 days. But yeah, it's crazy. So the logistics side of things, it's unreal.
When will you get to Willow Bank to start? Will you guys arrive there Friday, or you'll be there the day before, or when are you going?
We've got to be there Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah, so we get there. I think we get there not Thursday morning. I think they said about Thursday lunchtime or something. We're allowed to get in there. So we'll go in Thursday, get set up, and we'll go from there. We'll get the old girl out and get her set up, basically. And I'm also got my Turbo LS wagon. She'll be there as well. One of my crew members is going to race it as well in the index classes. So, yeah.
Cool. And then after Willow Bank, they're going to Sydney, right? Now,
Yes.
Sydney's not too far. I mean, it's not that far from Willow Bank. Are you going to try to go to that race too? Are you allowed?
We're going to try. We'll just see how it all pans out.
Okay.
Basically, we'll see how it all pans out. But I'd love to do Sydney. Sydney's it's a good surface, Sydney. It's a really nice track. It's just that surface was only laid 18 months ago, and it's like one of the best in the world. So it'll be a fast track. They've just had the Kenda radial meeting there last weekend. So it's been radial prepped, and I'd say they'll scrape it and that. But yeah, I think it'll come around and it'll be good conditions there. I'd love to make it. So if all goes well, we may travel to Sydney and jump in the big tyre support bracket and race for the $5,000 every night.
Cool, man. That'd be awesome.
If it all works out, I'd love to do that. So I think we can do that. I think we can race at each state. So yeah.
Cool. So what do you expect out of the competition from the Outlaws? Because most of them will not have their No Prep Kings cars, and most of them are going to be on small tires. So what do you think the competition is going to be like from them?
Can't take them lightly. They know what they're doing. They've been doing this for a long time. Most of them have been doing it forever before the show, So they know what they're doing. They've raced on. They might be coming on small tires or whatever, but they know their setups, and they don't want to come here to lose. So it's going to be some really good racing. I think they'll be very fast. Like their big tire cars, even their small tire cars are nothing to sneeze at. You can't sneeze at Ryan Martin. Like even on small tires, like man, I'd say he's going to be fast. But I think some of the Australian teams are going to, everyone's putting their best foot forward, and we're not taking it lightly. We're trying to do trying to go as fast as we can with what we got. And I think Australia's got a fair few fast teams and on small tires and big tires. So it's going to be really good. It's going to be interesting. We'll know where we're at. Like No Prep's just coming to Australia. I've been running a few No Prep events the last few years at our local track here, and I love it. And I got that from watching the show. I watched the show. Kept up with all the No Prep events, No Prep Kings, all the the smaller No Prep events, the streets, and I love that style of racing, and I want to try and bring it here to Australia. And now these guys are bringing No Prep Kings. There's a couple other promoters starting to do No Prep stuff as well. Power Cruise has been doing a lot for a few years, and on main straights and at a circuit tracks. And yeah, I hope we can keep it here once the show goes. I'm going to try and run 3 or 4 of my own events, promote them at the end of the year on the new surface. And the main thing, I just hope we can keep the No Prep racing going here. I just live and breathe it and love drag racing, love No Prep. And yeah, it's unreal.
Cool, man. Do you think you guys will have any advantage? You guys will have the advantage of knowing the tracks and knowing the weather right away?
Oh, look, at the end of the day, yeah, we know what the weather's going to be like. We know what the track's going to be like to a certain extent. What No Prep can be like. But, we'd love to say we got the advantage, but they run 16 events in 4 months as well, and they can adapt. But I think we definitely got the upper hand. But, yeah, we'll see how it pans out.
Cool. Hey, Matty, if you want, we're gonna take a couple questions from some people who are watching. So if you're watching this, post the questions. Can you see the comments or no, Matty? If not, I can post. If not, I can post them on the. I can post them.
Yeah, I can't, mate, at the minute. No.
Okay, I got a couple fun questions for you. So where I'm from in the United States, I'm way north in the United States. I'm really close to Canada. Okay, and a mullet, or where I am from, a mullet is like, it's almost like a sign of like I don't know, like it's like a sign of respect. Like a lot of people around here rock mullets. It's kind of a normal thing. Now I've seen pictures of you when you were younger. You didn't have a mullet. So why did you grow a mullet? And why do you have a mullet right now?
You know, I just love the mullet. I like the look. As you know, when I was young, I didn't have a mullet, but as soon as I was allowed to have my own haircuts and stuff like that, I've rocked a mullet now for, you know, have to be at times I've had to shave it and whatnot at school and that. But yeah, I've had one for at least 10 years, I suppose. I just love the mullet. It's unreal. It's just I'm a bit lazy. I'd rather spend time in the shed on the race cars or doing something. But yeah, getting your hair cut, that's one thing I sort of never have done, and that's where I got the mullet from, I think. Just getting into it, and then, you know, it's sort of bringing it back. It hadn't been around for the last few years, and now everyone's starting to really rock them, and it's good to see the mullet back. I love the mullet, and I reckon it's cool. So
yeah. Where I'm from, man, the mullet never stopped. It never went away. It's always people rocking the mullet.
So. That's good. That's good. Hopefully it stays that way here.
All right. So you talked a little bit about it, but so you guys watch Street Outlaws. How do you guys does like Discovery, is it up to date where you guys are at? I mean, are you guys up to date on No Prep Kings and stuff like that?
I don't think it is. On like you got to have like your pay TV type deal to watch Discovery and that. I think I'm someone that doesn't watch the TV a whole heap, but I think they're a couple seasons behind. They always were when the street stuff was on. I just don't know about No Prep Kings. It's on Discovery, but yeah, like we've got to watch it on YouTube and stuff like that as soon as it airs over there. So I follow it. Yeah, all I do is when we can, we watch it, and whenever a new episode's up, we try and find it on YouTube. But yeah, I hope if they can get it on here all the time, mate, we'd be watching it. But yeah, I think it is a season or two behind.
Okay, cool. We got a question from Kev. Says, what's the horsepower on his ride? How much horsepower you got in your car?
Oh, is that American asking or an Aussie?
That's
600 horsepower. You can ask me after the event. No, look, I don't. You know, it's just an estimate, isn't it? At the end of the day, with this new combo, I'd say hopefully we're getting. You know, we're around 2,500, something like that. I'm limited with my blower at the moment. Down the track, I'd like to try and push the Chevy to put a big blower on it and really push it. But yeah, I think we're around that 2,500 horsepower, or we will be anyway, once we fine tune it. So yeah, anywhere from 2,200 to 2,500, something like that. You know, that's just an estimate at the end of the day.
Oh yeah,
you haven't had it on a hub dyno or anything like that. So at the crank, I'd say that it will make up the 2,500, something like that. It's got all the goodies in it. It's got a really good crank in it, good aluminium rods, diamond pistons. Yeah, it's got all the goodies. So yeah, somewhere around that.
Cool. So when you aren't working on your car or racing, what do you like to do, Matty?
When we're not racing, we're either working, or if we're not working, just always with my family, with my wife Britt and my little man. We had our first little fella. He's 7 months old, I think. He'd be 7 months. Little Theo. So we spend as much time as we can together. We love to go fishing. We do a bit of fishing, and yeah, we're always just doing something, mate. I'm a clay target shooter. So I do clay target shooting as well, competition. So when we're not racing, the last 18 months we've been shooting, so we do that. But yeah, it's always just doing something, mate. If it's not working on the race cars, it's working on the street cars. So Brits building her VL, we're getting right into it. And I've had this Turbo LS HQ wagon that I've been building for. It was always I built it 5 years ago, and I had a nitrous stock bottom end LS in it, and we raced everything we could race. We done drag challenges and drag and drive events, and then the last 18 months we've done a Turbo LS combination for it, built motor, and we've been working on that, and then just got over it. We've been racing it a bit, and then started working on Brit's car, and then with Warwick Dragway getting built, we spent a bit of time out there, and then we luckily we just ordered everything for this before Christmas, or 2 months before Christmas, I suppose, like the block, the crank, the rods, the pistons, because we were gearing up for Warwick Dragway to open up mid-year. So we were just lucky we'd had that stuff ordered. Otherwise, we probably wouldn't have made the no prep, because parts over here is crazy to get. Like, you're struggling in America, well, we're struggling here, something chronic. So you get what you get, and that's it. So, but no, we like to do a bit of fishing, bit of, get to see family and that all the time. We, drink a bit of beer, I suppose.
Hell yeah. So in the U.S., all we ever hear about is all the deadly animals and insects you guys have in Australia. I want to know what is actually like something you need to watch out for if you ever went to Australia.
Depends where you are, mate. When you go to if you go to like in Queensland, when tourists come, they go to the Gold Coast. Well, that's the beach, that's the shops. If you come out west, if you go west of there and you come out into the country, that's where you got to really watch your snakes, your spiders. You got a fair bit of stuff out this way. Even at night time, you got your dingoes, your dogs, and stuff like that. But when you're in the city and that, you don't see the kangaroo as much or anything like that, mate. But you only got to, like Brisbane. Once you're in Brisbane, you've only got to step out half an hour and you're into all that. So definitely got to watch the snakes, mate. We actually had a pretty good snake last week at home. The dog got. So you got to be careful of the snakes and the spiders, and
yeah, nice. Hey, Matty, so if someone wanted to follow you on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, what is your social media so everybody can follow you?
So we got the Junga Bunga Racing on Facebook, and also I got a YouTube channel, Junga Bunga Racing on YouTube, that I try and keep updated. I say I'm going to do a video every week coming up the No Prep Kings. I think I've done 2. But we try and you can get us on Junga Bunga Racing, and you can get us on YouTube as well. And I think I've got an Instagram I've got to get going again, but there's Junga Bunga Racing on Instagram as well. Okay,
cool, man. Well, hey, thank you so much for coming on the show tonight, man, or today, should say. Good luck. I know you're gonna have a blast. Talk your shit, bet your money, man, and have fun out there.
Yeah, well, that's what we're planning to do. Hopefully we get this old Tirana, and hopefully we can have some fun, and I just want to meet them all. I just can't wait to meet all the street outlaws and see where we go from here. Like, wouldn't it be cool if we could have Australian street outlaws or just something like that, If that don't happen, I'm going to try and keep my own series going and get the No Prep happening. And, it's just, I just can't thank, like, Discovery for coming over and doing this. This is just Pilgrim. It's just unreal. Like, I didn't think it'd ever happen. And now they're here. They're like, next week we're racing against them. We're going to meet them. We're going to go racing. So we're just really appreciative that they're coming over. The logistics side of thing is just unreal. And as far as I'm concerned, this is one of the biggest things that's happened to drag racing in a long time in Australia. Especially when we got 10 badass street outlaw cars coming over. I know some aren't the No Prep Kings cars, but some of them small tire cars aren't to sneeze about. Like Stinky Pinky Chevelle, it was a No Prep Kings car right up until a few months ago before Christmas. So it's the real deal. And I know he's got big tires, small tires in that container, and he can change and do whatever he wants to do. And I reckon it's unreal. And them coming to 4 tracks, I thought maybe 1 track or 2 track, but 4 tracks, just it's credit to them.
Yep, hell yeah, man. Well, like I said, good luck, buddy. Thank you for coming on the show, and I'll be following along, man.
No worries, man. Yeah, no. Thanks for having us on, and thanks for everything you're doing for drag racing and no prep racing, and we'll continue to follow your lives with everyone, and we've been watching you. So yeah, no, thank you and everyone else that keeps us in Australia updated. It's good.
Cool, man. Appreciate it. Have a good day.
Thanks, mate. Thank you.